Hello everyone, welcome to DC Minds. In this video, we are going to learn about functions in Python. So function is a setup statement that allow us to perform some specific tasks like performing an addition operation or converting a temperature like from degree to Fahrenheit. For that you can write a function, or if you want to write simple interest calculator, then at that time you can define a function that will do that calculation, or you can write a function for checking whether a number is even or odd or finding maximum of 2. For those purpose you can define a function. So the syntax to define a function in Python is this. So first you have to give the keyword def and then the function name and the parameters in between parentheses. So these parameters are optional, so based on your requirement you can either give or you can keep this parenthesis as a empty, and then it is colon. And if you want to give some description for the function so that user can read that description and understand what exactly this function does, so you can give in double quotes some description and then set up statements that will perform the operation like addition operation or simple interest calculation. And then if you want to give some return, basically if you want to return some value from the function, that time you can give this return and some value or some expression that you want to return. Okay, so this is also optional, so it can have return statement or we cannot it cannot, but this statements is must. Okay, so along with this we'll also learn about various types of parameters, that is various types of arguments that we can pass to a function. So the arguments types are required arguments, keyword arguments, that is a way of passing the argument, and default arguments and variable length argument. Okay, so now let's write a code and understand each of these concepts one by one. Okay, so let's begin. So we'll write the code with the help of Jupyter Notebook that we have installed using Anaconda distribution. Okay, so here we have Jupyter Notebook launched, so we can create a new notebook from here. Can create a notebook and start writing the code. You can give the name you want for this notebook. So for this video what I have done, I have already created a notebook and written the required code. So we'll go through those codes and understand what exactly is happening. So here what I have done is I have defined a simple function which says the function name is hello, say hello, and it prints hello. So here I have given the keyword def and the function name is say hello and the parameters are nothing, so it is a empty. We don't want any parameter, then colon and then the statements that we want to perform. So here in this case I just want to print the print hello, so I have given print hello, and here return statement is not required. So here what I have done is I have defined this function and from here I am calling it. So here while defining a function, if you want to perform any lines of code, basically if you want to perform any operation inside a function, it has to be indented properly. Basically this indicates this line of code is inside this function. If you don't indent like this, it is like a two different things, so you must indent properly. Okay, so indentation is must in Python. Okay, so now if you run this cell, then it says it's say hello. Okay, so here what we are doing, calling this function. So when we call this function will get executed and this line of also code will also get executed and it will print hello. So next thing what we are doing is we are passing a parameter. So in this is also function which is a say hello function, but in this case we are passing a parameter, that is we are passing a argument to a function. Okay, so in this case we have defined a function over here with argument, and then we are printing the that values also. So we are here what we are doing, we are saying hello and the name that we are passing. So in this case we have to pass the argument to this function while calling it. Okay, so here I am passing it as dcminds. So let's run it and see what is happening. So here what has done is that we have passed this dcminds as the argument to this say hello function. So here instead of this name, dcminds will get printed. So here you are getting the output as dcminds. So now this is the basic of function, like how you can define a function and write the statement that you want to perform. Okay, so basically why do we need a function? We can write simply like print hello. Simply you can write print hello, or whatever the operation, like if you want to perform addition, then you can perform that operation simply. Then why do you need a function? So let's consider a scenario. Okay, so scenario is that we have a number and we want to check whether the number is even or odd. Okay, so to do that, what we can do, we can write a code like this. We can perform a modulus operation on that number, that is we are dividing that number by 2 and checking whether it is returning remainder as 0. So this is a modulus operator which gives remainder. Okay, so it will return remainder. So in this case, if it is giving me remainder as 0, means it is a even number, otherwise it is a odd number. So like this we can perform a operation. So in this case we have a number called 25. But suppose consider a situation, I have to perform same, means this operation multiple times. Like I have just 25 now, next number we have a 36. So what I have to do is, again I have to write the same line of code here for this new number. Okay, so again what I am doing, I am writing the same lines of code again here. Now suppose I have another number, like I have another number over here. It says number 2 and then value is something else like 45 I have here. Okay, so what I have to do, for each time I have to check whether a number is even or this line of code is getting repeated. Basically here also if you see, this is repeated, here also it is repeated, and this is repeated over here. For each number, same line of code is repeated. So instead of writing a code like this, first let's run it. And now in this case 25 is odd. So now again if you run this, here 36 is even. Again if you run this, here 45. So instead of repeating the code like this, like if you want to perform same operation again and again with different value, what we can do, we can define a function. So what we are doing here is, we are defining a function and we have given the name of the function as check even or odd, and then the parameter, basically the number. So here you don't have to define the type of value, like it is an integer. So based on the value passed, what will happen, function in Python or variable in Python will automatically derive the type. Okay, okay, so type will get automatically derived based on the value passed. So no need to define the type, means basically give the type. So in this case if you see, we are passing string, so here it will be treated as string type. But in this case we are passing number, which is a integer in this case. So it will consider it as an integer. So now what we have done is, we have defined a function, and inside this function we are performing the same operation. So here what we are doing, we are doing the same thing and then we are printing it. Okay, so now I can call this function multiple times, basically as many times I want. So I now what we'll do, let's run this cell. Now the function is being defined, and now we call this function with the values. So run this. Now it says 25 is odd number. Again if I want to check whether this 24 is even or odd, then again just what I have to do, I have to call this function instead of writing the repeated code like this that we have done over here. With the help of function, we are just defining once the function and calling again and again for multiple value. So I can again, what I can do, I can check call this function for different values, like I can check it for 45, and I'm just passing the different value and calling it. Okay, so now it says 45 is odd. So you can use the function and avoid the unnecessary code repeating again and again. So what you are doing defining is you are writing a common code, so it saves you lot of effort. Okay, basically time, if you have to write this line of code for suppose thousands number, at that time this line of code will get repeated for thousands number. So basically with the help of function you are able to save your time. Okay, and it is more readable also. Okay, so now in this case we have just defined function and we have called it. Okay, now we'll see about arguments, various types of arguments in Python. So first one is called required argument. So here what I have done is I have also again defined a function called add, and then what I am doing, it is asking for two parameter, basically a and b, and then what we are doing inside this function is we are adding this two number a and b, and then storing into a variable c, and then we are printing it. Okay, so in this case this function requires two arguments. So in this case if I try calling this function by passing just one argument, let's see what will happen. Okay, so what it says, add missing one required positional argument b. So one required positional, so what it says, it is missing one argument because it requires two arguments, so that's why we call it as a required arguments. So if we now pass one more argument and run this again, it should give me a proper output. So this a and b are required arguments in this case. Okay, next thing is to know about keyword arguments. So what is the meaning of keyword argument? Means here we have two arguments a and b. So in this case what will happen, when we are calling over here this add function, at this time value of a will be first and then value of b will be then. So what will happen in sequence, whatever the number is passed, it will give in this corresponding value will give into this arguments. But with the help of this keyword argument you can change the order of argument passing. So basically here what I am saying, a equal to 6 and b equal to 4, but in this case what I am doing, I am passing the value of b first and then a. So here by using this keyword argument concept you can change the order of arguments. So here we are saying first b equal to 8 and then a equal to 12, but in this case the order has to be similar to this function, but with the help of this keyword argument any order is fine. So now if we call this, see what is there. So we are getting 10 and 20 because it is first time it is 6 and 4, second time it is 8 and 12. Okay, so next thing is that default arguments. So here what we have done is that we have defined a function where we are passing two argument, but in this case what we have done saying that b equal to 5. So here what we are saying that by default value of b will be 5. So in this case if I call this function just by passing only one argument, at this time let's run it, what we are getting. So at this time what we are getting is we are getting as a 30, even though we are passing just one argument, this function here we are able to execute. This is because by default what we have told that the value has to be considered as a 5 for b. So here no need to pass argument b. So here just by passing one value we are able to execute this function. This is because we are using default argument, and the default argument should always be given from right to left. So from right to left. Okay, okay, you cannot give a equal to 5 and comma b, it has to be b first and then a values if you want to give, otherwise you don't keep. Okay, and so in you can call with one argument and you can call give different value. So in this case if I am passing the value for b, now the value of b has to be considered as a 10. If we are not passing, then by default it will be 5. So now if I run this code, it is now, if you see, it is 35. So if you don't pass, it will be this 5 will be the default value. Okay, the next thing is that passing the variable length argument. So variable length argument means you can pass n number of arguments. So in this case, how many arguments we have defined? We have to pass that many. So we had defined in this case 2. So we can give 2 or only 1 because we have default. But in this case, variable length argument, you can pass n number of arguments. So here what we have done, variable length argument is considered when you pass this star symbol before the variable, this parameter name. Okay, so here everything is same, just we are putting here star over here. It indicates it is a variable length arguments. So what we are doing, we are iterating over this arguments and then we are printing it. So first time when we are calling display, we are just calling with one value. Second time we are passing multiple value, and third time we are passing a tuple. So basically it is a one value, but it is a sequence. Similarly, we are passing a list. It is also one value, but it is list of values. So if I run this cell, let's see what we are getting. So in this case, if you see, first 25 is passed, so 25 is printed, and in this case we have passed 5 value. Okay, 23, 56. So you see it has printed 5 value. So 5 different value it has considered because it is a variable length argument. So we can pass one value, two value, and any number of value we want. And even we can pass this list. So if you see, this tuple is printed and then list is printed. Okay, so and along with this variable length argument, you can pass like some variable, basically some parameters, and then variable length argument. So in this case, what will happen, the first value that will pass to this add function will be considered as a value for this argument, and the rest of the value will be considered for this variable length argument. So in this case, if you see here, we are just passing one value. So in this case, what will happen, this a will have the value of 25, and this variable length argument will be empty. But in this case, we are passing this 56, 74, and 12, 33. So in this case, what will happen, 20 will be considered for a, and this rest of all this value will be considered for this variable length argument. Okay, now let's run this cell and let's see what is the output. So in this case, if you see, just 25 and 0 is printed, 25 and 0. This is because for a 25 is there and sum equal to 0 initially, and variable length argument will have no value. So this will not get executed, just for sum it is printing 0. So next time what is happening, this 23 is for this a and rest all are for this variable length argument. So what is happening, 23 is printed and then sum of these four value, like in this iteration, will get printed, which is 175. Okay, so this was about functions and the various way you can pass the argument. One thing that we have not seen till now is returning a value from a function. Okay, so let's write a simple function which perform a sum operation of two number a and b, and what it does, it store the sum into variable called c. Okay, and then we will return this c. So in this case, we have defined a function and which perform the addition of t and return this c. So now let's run this cell. So now we have defined a function. Now what we can do, we can create a variable called sum, like result and equal to sum, and we can call this with some values. So in this case, what will happen, we are calling this sum, and this sum will, what it will do, it will do the sum and return the result. So what will happen, this return result will get stored into this variable. Okay, and later we can use this variable to perform various operations. So in this case, what we'll do, we'll print the value. So we'll say res. So let's run it and see what we are getting. So here we are getting result as 7. So this is because we are getting a return value of 7 from this sum function, and then we are storing into this, and then we are printing it. Okay, so the main thing to remember over here is that we use function whenever we want to write some readable code and we want to avoid the repetition of code. Okay, so in this case we have avoided the repetition of code like this, like for even number checking we have avoided the repetition of this code. Okay, so in one place if you want to write a some line of code which can be used again and again. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button.